Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome once again to a brand new Soul Sister show this wonderful Thursday, 19th of March. And we are going to be on today with host Sue Schumacher and myself, Anoulla, just as usual. And we are a live calling worldwide radio, broadcasting today from Arizona in the U.S. and Stockholm, Sweden in Europe. And because we are a live calling show, call us at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. Why not join us and have fun and ask questions? And today we are actually holding open lines, so calling about what's on your mind. Any spiritual question is good to go here today with us. And, of course, as usual, you can get a free mini reading live on air. If you are an international caller, you dial +1 213-943-3587. +1 213-943-3587. And remember to press 1 if you want to be placed in the queue and we see that you want to talk with us live on the show. And as I said, I'm Anne, coming to you live from Stockholm.
I'm actually doing very well. However, I think our audience might have a little bit of trouble hearing you, Sissy. So I'm going to actually, if you don't mind, have you call back in. I'll discuss what we talked about last week, the show's talked about last week. It's very muffled, and I don't think the audience is going to be able to hear you.
Okay.
So,
I could hear that there was some Of course, I could hear myself very clear, but I get what you're saying. I call back in, okay?
Yeah, call back in. And in the meantime, guys, while Anne is going to call back in, I'm just going to go over last week's show while she does that. Sorry for that inconvenience. There is a little technical issue going on, so we hate to have that happen, but I would like it for Anne and myself to be as clear as possible to you. So I'm hoping that she comes out a little clearer. Anne, are you there?
I'm here, but I'm afraid it sounds worse.
Yeah, are you hearing something on your end that sounds a little off?
Yeah, I can't hear you very clear, actually. So it seems we have some technical issues here. Okay, talk a little bit, and I give it a second try to call back in.
Yeah,
okay?
Go ahead and give it a second try. No, sorry about that, guys. Just bear with us while Anne tries to call back in. She's coming all the way across from Sweden, of course, and I'm here in the States. So, we can't always have perfect lines. We kind of hope that it's perfect, but, hang in with us, guys. In the meantime, last week's show, it was really a great show. We took on angel numbers, and it seemed to resonate with everyone who had called in. And part of the conversation, even though we did angel numbers, we also took on the topic of the coronavirus as well. Anne, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds better. You sound much better.
Okay.
So whatever you did, it worked. I was just kind of talking a little bit about last week's show, which was angel numbers, and how we brought in the topic of the coronavirus, which I think we'll touch on again. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that was a very good thing, and also because I'm once again in here. Thank you everybody for your patience, and now is a great time to call in for questions and mini readings live on air. Get your spot in the queue, 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number. And if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue on a more personal level and personal readings, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. And of course, you can find out all about us at scrollsofthesoul.com. Once again, call in now for questions and free mini readings live on air. Get your spot in the queue. Call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and remember to press 1 to be placed in queue. And as I know that now my beautiful sister have already kind of recapped about what last show was about. So what do you say, Sue? Are you ready to proceed?
Yeah. Well, let me just kind of state something we're possibly going to be doing. We actually are going to be doing is each month, the third week of each month, we're going to take on different aspects of numbers and how those numbers, what they say, basically. So last week we took on angel numbers, of course. We just started with 111. We barely got out of the gate with that because there's a lot of information, of course, with angel numbers. So we're going to kind of stick with that theme because a lot of us see numbers and don't necessarily know, what does that mean? What does that mean when we see consistently see numbers everywhere?
Yeah.
So we thought we would kind of grab that as a topic each month, about the third week of each month, and different aspects. I think next time we might get into numerology, and what numerology means. So, that was quite the interesting area to jump into because a lot of our callers were seeing numbers, and there was this awakening going on with each caller that we spoke to last week. So that was kind of interesting that had occurred. And it was just kind of... Go ahead, Anne.
And I remember that it's funny we didn't bring that topic up until this point because I was showering in angel numbers when I first started out, and I didn't really get the full meaning of them all the time. So I think it's a very good thing to talk about.
Right. Yeah, it's just, you notice that it piques a lot of people's interest. So, it's one in which we're going to kind of move forward with a little bit. And, of course, our callers and listeners can let us know if they see numbers too and if they've interpreted those numbers, or if they haven't, we can maybe help out with what some of that means.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, like we said, we did take on some of this conversation with the coronavirus, and we'd like to take it on again with callers. And since today is kind of an open line, I think it's just we're going to touch different aspects and areas of the spiritual, like we always do. But, what I found interesting was last week, for instance, the callers were very upbeat and there wasn't a lot of panic with this virus. And so that was nice. That was nice to see that, there was a lot of rationale going on. And everyone was just, being precautious. And we basically advised the same, to do the same thing. I know there could be a little panic in the public, but just be rational in your thought and in your seeking out information, because there is abundant of information, and we all tend to get, bombarded and overwhelmed by a lot of it. Go ahead, Ann.
Yes, and a backside of overreacting to this is that we can create a lot of things and problems for society that doesn't actually need to be here right now. So, for instance, shopping too much, storing a lot of things. I know that even here in Sweden, they started to store toilet paper. I can't say that without laughing, actually. I'm sorry.
I know. I don't think any of us can say it without laughing.
And also like medicines and things like that. But I have a few medications, I can admit that I need. But there's no need to worry. We are not going to run out of supplies of either food or medications or whatever we need for ourselves. So if you just use our head, maybe it's a good thing to be out there a little bit, to have a look. What do you have at your home? What do you need? Is it time to order for the next few months? Or can you cope with, do you have enough for a month or two? So just, as Sue is saying, just use your common sense, and we will pass this.
Sissy, I was thinking, we had discussed this last week as well, and the one thing that we talked about was how we had gone through world wars. Our countries had gone through world wars. Our grandparents and great-grandparents had come through, survived. I'm sure times were tough because there was a lot of rationing going on, right? And yet they made it through. And of course, I'm not going to compare war in that sense, but I am going to compare items, as far as what we need publicly and what how we respond and how we react. And it's very hard, I'm sure, for a lot of people to go into a store and think, your neighbor might need, this or that. And a lot of people are going to grab items and not really think of others. But, if we all react that way, then of course we're going to run out of stuff. It's just, it's evident that's going to happen. I say give it some time. We all need to give it some time. See how this is all going to go, and not panic. Go ahead, Ann.
But what I'm saying here, that it's very good to go outside, and we need to be outside. We need to be in the sun and the air. I can't claim that we have too much sun here, because I'm in the northern part of Europe, right? But still, it's good to have fresh air. What they are kind of just advising us is to be precautious. So if we have a cold, we have anything, then we stay at home. We don't socialize with others. On the other hand, you can talk to people if you're outside. You don't need to be close to them, right? So you can still, I think it's very important that we have an interaction still with each other. And by the way, we have no pasta here.
Yeah. I would say, I'm going to ask our callers when we take a call, how are you guys doing on supplies? Because it's kind of funny what you notice disappears in the store, There's still plenty there, but then there's items that are completely empty on the store shelves. Pasta lasts long, so you can understand that.
Yeah, but pasta was actually totally, you could not find a package where I went yesterday.
Oh, listen, we have to laugh about it, everyone, because if we don't, we're going to end up crying. So, like Ann said, just be precautious. I would say,
Yeah.
we all keep hearing the same thing, which is, distance yourself. I disagree. Use your common sense. When you're sick, of course, you naturally distance yourself, right? I mean, you stay at home, you get rest. It's kind of the natural thing. But this overreacting of, make sure you have so many feet between you and everyone else. I'm like, just use some common sense. That's all it is. And hopefully, people have common sense.
Yeah.
I'm still going to talk to my neighbor or talk to people in the grocery store. Just use some natural precautions.
I just have to say something, and I don't know. This is just something that I noticed, and it feels strange for me, and I have no answers to it. But the numbers we are shown, but of course, on the other hand, they claim that we can't rely on the numbers because they are not counting in a way that they should, maybe, if this was going to be held in full control. But the numbers doesn't add up to what's going on in the world, actually, for me personally.
Right.
So it's a little bit strange.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't, and that's where I just come back to, use your God-given common sense. It's just that simple. And peel yourself away from the TV, the internet, where it's 24-hour, 7-day a week talk, because I think it's all fear conversation. We all have an understanding about media, and media tends to love the drama of all of this. And, look for self-entertainment. Watch movies. If you're with your family, go back to the tradition of board games. Be creative. You don't need to be every minute of the day visually seeing and hearing this. I just think it's too much. It's overblown in a lot of ways. It's overspoken about. It almost sounds panicky. It's just my opinion. Just what I see, kind of comes off that way. And in reality, we all have to live our lives. We all still have, things to do, families to raise, bills to pay. So I don't think we need to completely shut down.
No.
That's just one woman's opinion,
Yeah, and I agree with you, 2 women.
Yeah, right. Right. With that being said, what would you say we grab a call?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm
coming over
to
you
with
guys.
People.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? All right. Let me move on. Hold on 1 second, Sissy. Guys, keep a listen. If I'm coming over to you, listen to see if you hear me. Come on.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hi.
Ellen.
What's your name?
Hi. Ellen, New York.
Hi, Ellen.
What can we do for you? How's it going over there in New York?
Each day is getting a little bit more concerning. That's all I can say.
Right. What do you see going on that's concerning? I'm just curious.
First of all, I'm not working the way I normally do.
Right.
I'm losing. I feel less. I generally like my work, and it just feels kind of odd not to be, working toward that purpose.
Right.
At the same time, I'm afraid. Let me see. I have some concerns about going outside, either because I could spread something because I could be an asymptomatic carrier, or I could get something. It's like I have no idea of what exactly I should be doing. There's like a directionless feeling that I've never had before.
Yeah. Right. Do you?
Yeah.
Are you constantly paying attention to, let's say, the media, Cuomo, all the bombardment of it all?
Not constantly. And today I've been listening to music to try and get away from it. And then, of course, now I'm listening to BTR again to get away from it.
Right.
But again, there are all these concerns. I don't want to say it's gotten to the point of worry, because I'm certainly not like, I don't think I'm totally consumed, but I would say that I am concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not only me, but it's like my neighbors and where do you start is, I guess, where I guess I want to say, it's like it's hard to figure out what is the proper thing to do. What is the right thing to do?
Can I ask you a question? Do you personally know anyone who has this?
No, but I also know that last week I took 3 round trips on the subway, and I took Metro North through Grand Central. And so I had a lot of chance to be exposed to stuff.
As usual, right? As usual. I mean, that's,
yes.
This is kind of listen, I'm not placing any judgment on anyone. It's just kind of my way of looking at it. We are out in the public daily, especially if you live in the city. You are well aware of that. And you're around all types of people with, I'm sure, all types of illnesses who are constantly sneezing or coughing in front of us. We all know we're lucky we survived what we have, And so I kind of see it as this overreaction, because I can't tell you anyone who has it, and I don't know anyone who knows anyone who has this. So the numbers for me, because I'm a numbers person, it's not adding up. It's for me, it just seems way overblown. I say use common sense. Don't live in fear, because doesn't it feel like it's an atmosphere of fear?
Well, actually, getting back to what you said about when you asked me, do I know anybody who's had it? The question, my answer was no, because I don't know anybody personally who's had it.
Personally, right.
Unfortunately, there is a local Facebook page for the neighborhood, and people are being identified by certain apartment buildings. So far, nobody's identified someone in my apartment building, but, there are other apartment buildings in the area, and I'm sure we frequent the same grocery stores, pharmacies, etc.
Under normal conditions, let me just ask you, so under the flu epidemic, let's say, when we all know this is the time of year where the flu is, pretty high and prevalent, what you normally would do under those conditions, I feel, and it's just opinion, it's not fact, it's not something I know, is that, we take normal healthy precautions when we know, the flu is around and that we're kind of around more people that, I just don't feel like, I feel like this is more overblown. Clearly, I mean, look at the way the country's acting. It's not as, it's just an opinion, it's not a fact, that, when we start putting groups of people and neighborhoods and say, oh, that building has it, stay away from that building, it starts to get a little uncomfortable. It's just my sense of that. That feels uncomfortable, and it feels, while I understand people want to know if it's around, and if you're around this, I don't see it as like a quote-unquote death sentence, so to speak. Again, though, it's only opinion. I
don't
think,
see it as a death sentence either, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't take precautions or that I shouldn't be concerned.
Right.
I think we are looking at this very differently. I would express more concern than you are apparently on this. we already know what happened in Italy and what's still going on in Italy. And we're just like 2 weeks behind it. So I think that there is good reason to be very concerned and not say it's overblown.
No. Well, it's just opinion. I have trouble with, we're not, for instance, are you seeing a lot of people who have the virus? Are you seeing them post, okay, so, my family or I have the virus? I mean, are you seeing anyone? Normally people put anything out on the internet. They put anything and everything out on the internet. And it's the one aspect in which I'm not seeing anyone post anything of personal nature. Now I'm seeing country states, they're shutting down their country. Okay, I get that. But I'm the only thing you're seeing coming out of Italy is everyone's, they're having singing on the balcony. It just, I kind of question it. And like I say, it's just personal. You do what's best for you and what feels comfortable and right for you. That's all I'm saying. I can't sit here and worry about it, but, I hope that this, this turns into something in which we have, we come through it and we're healthy and everybody is doing good and we're back to work and as a nation, because this wouldn't be too good a month from now if we're still in the same place,
Mm-hmm.
Are you noticing your work then is kind of slowing down for you?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Oh boy. Is it something in which you can do at home?
Oh yeah.
Or no? Yeah.
Some of it I can do at home, but there is at this point, it's hard to figure out what's the best thing to do, and I don't want to get into my work. But
right. I don't want you to.
Yeah.
That's completely understandable. Well, what are you after? What did you call for from Ann and I?
Well, actually, I was going to be just listening for a while and see how the show was going. But since
right.
I got through, could I just ask for a mini reading?
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm going to actually turn you over to Ann.
Okay. Hi, Ellen. This is Ann. So,
hi.
Do you have any specific question for a mini reading?
No. I have no. And in fact, I'm so discombobulated regarding my focus that I'll just take whatever message you have, whatever reading you're able to get.
Okay, so I'm just going to see what's coming up for you right now at this very moment in time. And this may make sense a little bit because the first thing I'm seeing is that the energy around you is like a tired energy, and that makes total sense if you consider what's going on around us all right now. But I also see that there are good things coming for you. So I actually have the Ace of Swords, and that's a very powerful sign. It's right on top of you, and that means that whatever you feel is tiring you right now, you will find your answers within you, and you will see things as if you have kind of come to a place where you conquer all these things, and you will feel much better. This is also coming up as a journey, and sometimes I actually think that maybe this is in a spiritual sense, this what's happening now, even if it feels very, very bad, and no one wants things like this to happen, right? But it's also in our busy world, it's a thing that kind of pushes us to go within a little bit and have a look and start to experience this, because I'm 55, so I do still remember in the old days when we didn't have all the internet, we didn't have cell phones, there were a lot of things we didn't have, and life had a very different pace. So maybe this is something that we need to kind of have a look at and see that things can actually work for us anyway. But I'm doing the reading for you, and then I'm coming back to what I feel is concerning in this sense. I also see that there are good people around you, And do you have someone, are you in a relationship, or do you have someone on your mind, or you know someone who are interested in you?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Because I actually feel that there's someone around you who may be more interested in you than you maybe have been thinking of. And approaching you maybe a little bit like in a very gentle way, that will give you some hints that this person is are very interested in you in a romantic sense. That's what I'm seeing for you. And I also see that in a little bit of a time in the very near future, you will have this feeling, and that's confirming from the Ace of Swords too, that you will feel like you are holding your world in your own hands, meaning that you will feel more secure and you will feel more content and have more confidence in what you really feel is good for you. Because everything, as Sue said, right now everything is so upside down and we don't really know what to think, because no one of us could actually have predicted this one to come, right? Yeah. But it's, I also see the moon for you, and the moon goes for intuitive things and things that goes on within. So just follow. If you feel it's an urge to resist, to look within anyway, because it's not scary. You find a lot of the answers over there. So I feel that's fine. My sense, if I just go to what's going on in the world, I'm not so worried either. And I heard in my part of the world, because I'm in Sweden, and here they have a little bit of a different approach. I don't know if that's right or wrong or whatever, but they say that most people who catch this, maybe 80% of the people who will ever catch this virus, some of them will not notice anything, but they still carry it, and some of them will have like a cold. It's only very hard for people who have underlying diseases and those who are sensitive and older. So that's the population we need to kind of protect. But here they are actually saying that if this passes by in some time and we can hold the peak so we don't have everybody getting sick at the same time, and therefore getting this to people who are sensitive, if we can pass by that with some time, people will start to get immune, all of those who have gone through it. And that's a good thing. So if half of the population will become immune, it's not going to be that hard. So the numbers they are showing us, because I'm also a number person, it doesn't make sense at all to me. Because it's like, if you compare to the flu, I'm one of those who always take a shot for the flu, even if I know that some people say that it's not good, because it's affecting me, so that's why I do that. But the flu can actually be worse sometimes than this. And I have a feeling for Italy, for example, what they do say that the problem with Italy was that it came, they didn't know, they were, after China, they were the second country to catch this, and they didn't realize it came into Italy. So it came into the healthcare system, hospitals and things. And that's when this gets dangerous. So what they do in my country, Sweden, they try to avoid that. But they don't test everybody who's on the outside. So they leave that to people to kind of use their common sense. I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just how they do it here.
Oh, and that's very sensible. The problem here is that we really don't have a public health system. There are people who are uninsured. There are people who are underinsured. And they're not going to seek medical care unless, like, they drop dead on the street or, you know, their neighbor drives them somewhere. People aren't taking, they're not getting help early on. And some people are not, and because they have to work and they're not getting paid, many of them are going into work regardless of whether or not they have symptoms. I think like what's happening now is showing the real problems with our system here, and the fact that there is no overall public health system, and that, you know, people are left on their own.
Okay. I can't, I don't know because I've never been to the U.S. actually. Of course, I talk every day with my sister, but I don't know actually. I haven't lived the system, so I don't know how to talk about it. But my sense of this is that most people would not need medical care. So they say that if you have any underlying diseases, you know that you don't have any real troubles, you just stay at home so you don't transmit the virus around you. And most people, I feel that they will be good within a week or two, and then they are immune to it, so they can kind of get it again. So, by the way, I just had to ask you, did the reading make sense to you? Did you understand the reading?
It does make sense, and it sounds like a very hopeful thing. Ace of Swords, wonderful. You're talking about a relationship. That's wonderful. Could I have asked for anything better? No.
So there's always light in the end of the tunnel, no matter how things are looking right now. So I'm going to turn you back to Sue, and thank you so much for calling us. And please keep us updated if you feel for it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sue?
Ellen, listen, I agree with Anne. Yeah, you know, I had grabbed some cards for you as well, and I actually got abundance, believe it or not. So that was the first one that jumped out. So even though it doesn't feel like it at the moment, there is going to be abundance. It's going to come your way. You know, it's very short term as far as, and this feels more like employment, you know, as you had been speaking of employment. So I kind of see that this is something that's going to return. And, you know, abundance isn't necessarily, you know, finance, so to speak. It's kind of a one-word phrase. So whatever we imagine abundance to be, right? But it does look like things are going to ease up for you. And I'm actually kind of seeing summer. You know, it's going to come up in the warmer weather. So as far as that's concerned, it looks good. The love question I didn't get, but, you know, that's the difference between Ann and I. We don't always have to match up with what the caller is. But that kind of sounds surprising for you. So that'll be interesting, huh?
Yes.
Well,
thank you, ladies. You've taken my... I'm sorry.
Awesome. No, awesome. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you, ladies, and I appreciate your taking my call.
Well, you know, hang in there.
Thank you for calling.
Hang in there. Good luck. Good luck with everything.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Looking to move on to another caller?
Yeah. Shouldn't I do some short announcements?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we are. We passed that.
I didn't realize the time.
No, I know. We are good talkers, all of us, aren't we?
Yeah. Yep.
But that's okay. That's why we're here. So, just a few short announcements, everybody listening in. If you haven't called in yet, now is a good time to call in at 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and I know we have a bunch of people in the studio in the queue wants to talk with us, so we are going to get to you very soon. We are holding open lines today, and that means we take your calls for questions and free mini readings live on air and what's on your mind. Call in and discuss any spiritual topic with us. And if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. And you can always listen live and text chat with us during the shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And our next upcoming show here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio is next Thursday, March 26th, with Soul Sister Show, and we will welcome special guest Cleopatra Amnurushu. I hope I say that right. I have to train for the next show, so I pronounce that right. She is actually a relationship and dating coach, and she is a certified Ushu Reiki and Angelic Reiki healer. So tune in next week. That will be really exciting. And she will not do mini readings because she's more of a coach, but she can give advice. I'm pretty sure of that online if you call in and talk to us. And if anyone wants a mini reading, of course, Stu and I will be there to provide that for you. We will be on next Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Sorry for my voice. 5 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. Sweden, and 7 p.m. Greek time. And you can always keep yourself updated on our shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming, scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming. And you can read more about us at scrollsofthesoul.com, scrollsofthesoul.com. And today we are holding open lines, and we take your calls for questions and free mini readings live on air. So just ask about whatever is on your mind. I'm ready, Sissy.
Okay. And listen, I just want to emphasize, I'm not trying to understate, this event, because clearly all of us around the world are having our own unique experiences. So I'm not going to, understate how people are feeling or what's being presented. But it's like everything else that we have dealt with over the years in our lives. We've had many diseases. We've had many type flus that have come about. And, the reaction, I guess the surprising reaction on my end, what I'm seeing is overstatement of this. Like you had said, Anne, earlier, you don't see the numbers matching. The numbers.
No, I don't.
With the reaction, when you look at the numbers around the world, okay, and the kind of panic that's being put out there, and then you line it up with the numbers of other illnesses such as the flu, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up. But I'm not trying to understate it. I'm just kind of looking at it from a logical standpoint. And, I hope and pray, like the rest of us, that, this too shall pass, so to speak. Go ahead, Anne.
I'm actually more concerned about what happens to society in general than us getting sick, because this is actually affecting so many other things. It's affecting our traveling and our connection and our freedom to go wherever we want on the globe. So now the European Union has closed its border for non-European countries. And I know that you guys have closed for Europe way before that. And companies have a hard time because people are afraid even to go out and eat. So restaurants have a trouble. Travel agencies, flight companies. I know that a big flight company in Sweden actually sent home 90% of their personnel for some time. And they're not sure yet for how long. So the effects that are going on in our modern society on that scale, that's more concerning actually for me.
Right. It's the reaction, I think, the reaction from different areas of the world. And, as far as, the healthcare, that's a different topic. While I understand the concern, that's a whole different aspect to get into that I just don't want to take that side of it on. I just look at it as, just taking on a more reasonable, rational kind of response, even though all around us it doesn't seem reasonable and rational, I guess is the best way to state it. It seems a little panicky. It's just out of observation. But, like anything in life, we all get through it. It's just my sense of it.
We will.
So with that being said, I'm going to move over to another caller. If you give me a second.
Yes.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Hello.
Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is also Anne from California.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
Welcome.
Beautiful name.
Thank you. Yeah, mine's with an E, with an E on the end.
Mine too, actually.
Oh, great.
ANNE. Yeah.
I love it.
Going out there in California.
Everything. They're one of the strictest. The Bay Area, all the counties are everything. All stores except for grocery stores.
Right.
And but the construction hasn't stopped. There's the loud noise. The house across the street from me is still being built, so it's kind of hard when everybody's at home to then it's like a cement mixer noise. It's but
oh yeah.
So,
would you normally be at work? If you don't mind me asking? Yeah.
I'm totally. I work in events, so I am totally unemployed right now, waiting for unemployment to start.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, hang in there, Anne. Hang in there. I can emphasize. Like Anne and I were saying earlier, I think we all have to get creative, maybe like our parents or grandparents were, back in the day.
Right.
maybe,
Back to reading books.
Right. Reading. Remember those board games, things of that nature.
Right.
Or, I'm out in Arizona. Maybe we could play a little badminton out in the yard, things of that nature before it becomes 115 degrees out here.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Yeah. So what can we do for you, Anne?
If anybody, I'm not sure if you are giving little mediumship readings.
Just,
Absolutely.
we're just doing cards, just pulling cards right now.
Oh, okay.
It's
pulling
usually
cards.
when we
Okay,
do
sure.
mini readings. Yeah, we'll pull a card. Is there something specific you're wanting, or
no? Everything is so upside down, so there's not really any of those normal questions. Don't really apply.
Yeah, right. Right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm still going to have a look here what's coming up for you, as I can see.
Great.
And just like the previous woman I read for, I have an ace for you too. So in this sense, aces are standing very much for finances and material things and practical matters in life, like work and things like that. So, of course, I can't promise, but I have a feeling that this will be resolved for you. So things will fall into place. And I know that's very easy for me to say. Of course it is. And the other thing I see is that you may be feeling a bit lonely and may have been feeling a bit lonely for a while. Are you in a relationship or are you looking for someone?
Yeah, yes to both. It's very
yes to both.
The one I have seeing now is very casual and sporadic, and so I'm looking for a serious, committed relationship.
Okay, so I actually have a feeling that there is something in the air. It takes a little while, but it comes to you. I see a man who is someone who's very authoritative. He feels to be strong. He's a driven person. He knows what he wants, but he's not close-minded. So, of course, if you can convince him that you have a different point of view in some areas, I think this man feels to be open to listen and is someone who also can adjust if he's convinced, of course. So that's the only thing that needs to be done. And I have a feeling that you may, if you haven't met up yet, you will soon. I'm getting the card Justice around meeting up. That's a kind of funny card when it comes to meeting up with someone. But maybe
Justice,
this...
a lawyer?
Yeah, it can be someone connected to justice. It can be where you are searching out some things that you need to manage so that they are going to be in your favor, like applications or whatever it can be. So something,
Right.
don't close your mind up to a lawyer, but think in big terms of something that will make some justice in your life. I think that's where you're going to meet up. And I have a feeling it's going to be before the summer. And I see someone standing and looking out on the world, so I'm not sure. It can actually be someone, this doesn't seem logical right now, but it can be someone from somewhere else in the world. So be a little bit open-minded.
Yeah,
I don't know if this makes sense to you.
I'm usually with people from other countries, so I believe that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've always traveled
That's
and lived
fine.
abroad, and I usually speak other languages, and I usually attract people that also travel and live abroad and things like that.
Okay. So that makes sense then. So within a time frame of maybe a couple of months, 3, there's a possibility to meet up here. So,
I actually in college I did a program in Sweden.
Oh, nice.
I was in Växjö, the south, in Växjö.
Okay. Where did you say? What town?
In the south, in Växjö.
Växjö. Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Did you like Sweden?
It's hard to learn Swedish because everybody speaks back to you in English.
Yeah, I know. You can call our show and I can talk Swedish with you.
Okay.
And she can also speak Greek to you. Okay, so
wow,
I'm listening to both of you talk, and I'm listening to all the synchronicities going on here. Well, both named Anne, both spelled with an E at the end, both speak several languages, and travel a lot. And the card I got for you, which might also be for my Anne, the co-host, is communicate clearly. So
sure.
So that's kind of funny considering you're meeting people from around the world, and speaking other languages, and you get communicate clearly. It seems kind of ironic to me, but there's probably a little something in that, and that came up with romance. So I asked while Anne was doing kind of a romance reading, I asked if what was in sight for you romantically. So that's what came up. And as soon as Anne said worldly, she was dead on. She was correct. It is someone coming from a different part of the world, and the communicate clearly is about those barriers that can happen with language. So, being precise or interpreted different through language, through English and Greek, let's say, or English and Swedish. So, and that comes with your relationship. So, it is definitely someone not from here, somebody from around the world. A little closed-minded, like Anne said, is correct. Just due to their culture, due to his culture and belief system. So that's okay.
I have to make a joke.
Nothing wrong with that.
You see, I have to make a joke. So you are lucky to be far away from me. So I'm Swedish and I'm close-minded, right? I'm just kidding you.
No, I would never be anywhere.
No, I know. I just had to joke because I think one of the reasons we are passionate about doing this show is sometimes we all tend to take ourselves too seriously, right? And now things are not so easy to cope with. So I think it's a good thing to have a laugh once in a while and kind of just bring it out there. Are you there, Anne? Okay.
I think it's gone. I think we're losing you, Anne.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it went a little distant for some reason. Yeah, I agree as far as what Ann is stating. We do have to have laughter, especially when, things don't look so nice right now, If we don't have laughter, we're going to end up all crying in a padded room. So
yeah, with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, right. We don't want that either. All right, Ann. Listen, thank you for calling in. Good luck with everything. And look, work's going to come back around because I did get in a few months. That was a work question for you. So I asked the work question. It's going to come back up in a few months. I see the few is 2. So it looks like 2 months. It's going to come right back up.
Yeah,
so hang
and I'm
in there.
ready to use this time. Yeah, I'm ready to not do my work, the similar work anyway. I'm ready. This will be a time to research other avenues. So I'm ready for a new thing to come in.
Oh, awesome. Very good. New is great, It's exciting to have new.
Yeah.
All right, Ann, thank you for giving us a call. We appreciate it. Good luck with everything.
All right.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Sissy. You want to take one more call before we wrap it up?
Absolutely. I just want to ask you, do you hear me okay?
I think we're all kind of cutting a little in and out. It could be the line, too.
Okay.
It could be our...
Yeah.
We just have to see. Yeah. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No response, Sissy.
No response.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep shouting out. If you don't hear me, guys, you don't hear me. It could be our connection, too, like you said. We could be having some connection issues. So do you want to
it can be.
Get to the top of the hour and we kind of come to an end here?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I just want to make one last joke because I'm the joke one, so to speak. When things are cutting off and on, that's very handy because you can have that option of selective hearing, what you want, right?
Yes, you can have selective hearing. This is true.
I just had to say that. It's too funny. That suits me very well, okay? Because I'm a stubborn person.
You think? All right, Sissy.
But anyway, here are some announcements before we end the show, and we want to thank you, everybody, for interacting with us, and we are sorry for some minor technical things, and I think that may be because of what we are going through, all of us, all around the world right now, so it may be connected to that. And on today's show, we held open lines and took your calls for questions and free mini readings live on air. Our next upcoming show here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio is next Thursday, March 26th, with Soul Sister Show, and we will welcome special guests all the way from Greece, actually. She's called Cleopatra Anoulla. I think I'm not sure I said that right, but I will fix myself until the next show. And she's a very interesting lady. She's a relationship and love coach and dating coach. She has a long experience, and she can actually advise people and help people see what their patterns are and why they are attracting a certain kind of type when it comes to love and relationship, which is really helpful. And she's also 5 p.m. London, 6 p.m. Sweden, and 7 p.m. Greek time. And Cleopatra will help to give relationship and love advice, but she will not give mini readings. And if anyone would like a mini reading, of course, Sue and I are here to step in and provide that. But I think that you will be very interested in what Cleopatra has to say. And know that you can listen to replays of all our shows anytime at scrollsofthesoul.com/past, scrollsofthesoul.com/past. And you can also listen to full past episodes on YouTube. So go to YouTube and search for Scrolls of the Soul Radio. Scrolls of the Soul Radio on YouTube. And if you'd like to connect with me or Sue for personal readings, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/N. And if we didn't have a chance to take your call today, please call into our next show and go to scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming to find out more about the upcoming shows. And of course, as always, you can listen live and text chat with us during all shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And thank you all for listening and calling in, and we'll be back next Thursday, March 26th, with Soul Sister Show, welcoming our very special guest all the way from Greece, Cleopatra, who is a relationship and dating coach, and who also are certified in Usher Reiki and angelic Reiki healings.
Of course I do. Listen, everyone, if we didn't take your calls, call in next week. We're on at the same time every Thursday. And we apologize if it came in a little blurry. I know the connection seems to be a little off with all of us. We do thank you for trusting us with your questions and your calls. And with that being said, I'm going to give a shout out to my mom. Angels watch over you all night long. Sissy?
And I say love, light, peace, and joy to all of you. And keep it up out there. Everything is going to be fine in the end. It always becomes that way. So don't give up. Keep it up. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.